Alrighty, guys. So we are back with another update on NiceHash. We finally actually have an update on this one. And sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather if my voice sounds a little different. But basically, we have finally started on our second rig here. So what happened is that I ordered everything on eBay, and the first thing to come was actually a GPU. So I got this Zotac 3060 here, and I hooked it up temporarily to this weird 2000 watt power supply that I somewhat doubt is actually 2000 watts. And then I had this random motherboard and CPU, RAM, everything just chilling here, this is from my first PC that I ever built, which was about, I want to say about 7 years ago, maybe. So it is 7-year-old hardware, but at the end of the day, we did get this 3060 hooked up to that, and it's going good for now. I luckily found an extra Ethernet cable here, so that's all hooked up. Now, what happened is that I ordered everything, meaning I ordered a new motherboard, CPU, all that jazz, and I was kind of ready to go. I had my power supply that came in a while ago, and we were basically ready to go and start a new rig. But what ended up happening is that, like I mentioned, that Zotac card got here before anything else. But the second thing is that this mining case, I don't know if you can see it, but it is way smaller than this other one. I mean, way too small. And when I looked it up on eBay, it said that it could handle 8 cards, so I was, I thought it was good. And the other thing was that the picture showed it as having enough room for 2 power supplies that are sitting this way and a motherboard in the middle. So I was like, all right, this is perfect. But then, like I said, this is not at all like how the picture showed it. I mean, you can just tell how much blank space there is here versus how much blank space there is here. There's basically nothing. So I went ahead and talked to the seller, and he went ahead and agreed to a return. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and return this case here and take everything out. Luckily, I didn't really hook anything up other than couple of the power supply wires, and I did kind of bolt this into place as power supply, but I will go ahead and take that out. And I already have another one of these guys on order because I didn't want to just wait any longer for this guy to go ahead and send me another one, because he was like, oh hey, I can actually send you the right one, I don't know what happened, this and that, and I just wasn't really having it. But anyways, the other thing is that I can only really hook up 2 GPUs to this motherboard for now, because that's how many PCI slots there are on that. Now, the problem becomes this, that I was supposed to get a GPU in on Saturday, and it ended up getting delayed, or it ended up actually, sorry, they came to deliver it, but I don't think I was home at the time. So because of that, we ended up having an issue where they took it back and they said, hey, we need a signature from someone, and basically I didn't have that signature, right? So they took it back to USPS, and I'm gonna have to go ahead and pick it up from the post office, and that order had 2 GPUs in it. So that is going to be ready by tomorrow. I'll go ahead and pick that up in person, so I don't have to wait for them to come here again. But what that also means is that I can run that 1 GPU there, and I can run 2 GPUs here, or I can run all 3 here. The other thing is, though, I won't have a case, so I'm going to have to take this all out, and we're going to have to figure out what the best way to do that is going to be. One thing I can do is I have till the 25th to return this case, so something I can do is just start loading it up on here for now, and then when the new one arrives, I rebuild it and, kind of move everything over there. So I'm thinking about it right now. We'll go ahead and we'll see what we want to do with that. But let's go ahead and get into our update here. So like I mentioned, we have that 3060, we have 2 that should get here tomorrow, and we have 2 more on order that are already on the way, and they'll take some time, but they should get here by the end of April. And I'm guessing by the end of April we might have enough money for another one, but we're gonna have to kind of see. But anyways, so kind of getting into here, let's take a look at our rig manager. As you can see, we've got all of our rigs running. Finally, we have this temp rig here, which is that one, and I'm gonna go ahead and change that name to rig 4 or rig 5, sorry, when I swap everything over to this motherboard. Then I'll go ahead and change that name on there because I only have 1 hard drive and I don't have another one to hook up there. So the other thing is the temps are looking pretty good for everything other than rig 1, which has always been giving me issues, sitting at about 81 degrees Celsius. And right now the issue is that in this room it is really warm. It's about 85 degrees, and the humidity is actually pretty high, which is not good. But summer is coming now at this point in Texas. It is about 78 degrees outside, so it makes sense for it to be a little bit warmer in here. I do have my ventilation running, but that can only help so much. So I do need to figure out some sort of solution for that. But anyways, so looking at our our history and stats here. So as we know, or as some of you guys might know, NiceHash was having some issues on Dagger Hash a little while ago, and so we did see a couple gaps there, and that is going to be reflected in our average pay rate. As you can kind of see here, there was a couple gaps. If it wants to focus, there we go. A couple gaps here and there where we saw a little bit of, I guess, discrepancy in our earnings. So, but taking a look at this, we basically got about 0.000431169 Bitcoin over the past 24 hours, and over the past week, and that's a 24-hour average. That's about $18.20. If we look at the one-day average, that's about $18.71, and our 6-hour average is about $19.01. So it is going up a little bit. And like we mentioned before, it is going up in general. That one GPU did add about $2 basically to our daily income type thing, for now at least, but that can obviously fluctuate up and down. But other than that, I think that is the update. We are doing pretty good on that side. Like I mentioned, that everything should come in. Hopefully that mining case comes in, and when that does come in, I'll go ahead and build the secondary rig out. I'll have to get another fan probably to keep it cool. And other than that, all I'm thinking is that I can get a sorry, excuse me. I can get all 8 running. Once I have all 8 GPUs on here, then basically we can focus on Chia a little bit. And the other thing I was thinking is that I think I'm done building RTX3060 rigs after this one. This will be the last 3060 rig. I'm thinking to go 3080 for the next one, because honestly, these power supplies can handle a good amount. I'm usually running dual 1300 power supplies, so 1300 watt power supplies, so about 2600 watts total. So all I'm thinking is that we run the total, we run all of it basically, right, all around 2600, and we should be able to do that with some 3080s. Let me go ahead and do a calculation here real quick. So if we come over here, we enter the profitability calculator that NiceHash gives us. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but it gives you at least a little bit of info on here. So let's take a look at just one 3080. That's going to be about, let's take a look, about 220 watts basically for almost all of the algorithms here. And if we were to just go ahead and push this up to 8 of them, let's take a look at how much that'll be. 8, that is going to be approximately 1800 watts, it said. Right over here, about 1800 watts, and so that should work out perfectly. Like we mentioned, we have about 2600 watts, and so we can multiply that by 0.8, and we'll be sitting at about 2080 watts is our max that we can do. And because 2080 is the max and we're hitting 1800, we should be basically perfect here. So I'm thinking to go ahead and move over to 3080 rigs after this. There is going to be a little bit more heat management there, but other than that, we should be good. And thank you for watching.